Okay, I don't know if anyone's seeing me, but I had a hard drive failure. I need to get to my own stream, and my shortcut is missing too, so... Creator dashboard. Okay, now I'm in chat. Anybody there? Anybody there? Well, at least I got the transcoder there. Got the transcoder back, but hey, I lost all my files. Okay. Normally my stuff is on the D drive. Okay, you want to see what the D drive has now? It has cannot be found. So I lost a hard drive. The hard drive has basically all my work on it, but I have it all checked into Git, except for what I did tonight. So I'm trying to think what I can do to continue. I can clone it to a different drive and continue. And then worry later about the hard drive dying and what I might have lost there. I lost my bot, all of its logs. Yeah, I lost quite a bit of stuff, but I have backups for the critical things. I think I might have a backup of my bot, but I don't remember. Yeah, the drive doesn't show up at all, so I can hope that I can reboot a few times and it'll show up, and then feverishly copy it to another hard drive before it dies permanently. I suppose that's what I should do, right? I don't know. Let me clone the project from a fresh drive here. Hold on. Do I even have Git? I do have Git. Okay. So I need to start... Well, I can just do this from a shell here, right? CD projects. I don't have a projects. Make directory projects. Okay, git clone git at bitbucket.org, right? It's private, so even if you try to get it, you won't be able to get it. What did I call it? Rusty keyboard? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got Rusty keyboard back. Open folder. Projects, Rusty keyboard, there we go. It's what is that? One of those M2 solid states. I didn't think that those would die so dramatically. Sure, I trust them all. Okay, so I lost everything I did tonight, but maybe I should watch my own VOD. I do remember some things that I did, right? I did this part. 0.2 if I remember right. And then it was USB D serial 0.3, I think? No, 0.1. See how that thing helped me out? What's the latest version? 0.1.1, latest version of this, 0.2.8. Okay. So let's see, I'll go back to here. Yeah, my home page is on the D drive, so I don't have that anymore. Is it lib.rs? Okay, USBD serial. I largely copied from them anyway, right? So that drive, that D drive, has all my work, but it also has all the live recordings of Twitch. So I guess it makes sense that after how many years, like 2 years, that it finally kicked the bucket. It was just, you know, used too much. So yeah, time to order another hard drive, I guess. Maybe I'll get lucky after I reboot a few times, let it cool off. Maybe I should unseat the drive and plug it back in again. Maybe I'll get lucky enough to boot it again. All right, so that we needed that down here, right? But not this whole thing. We don't need the loop. Oh, I have to do my own reroll of this block again, right? So I want the delay wait part. Paste that. Okay, this delay wait goes for this E. Right? Yeah, and then crate, instead of crate, we put NB. And inside the wood block is where we put the polling here. And we're going to ignore errors. Right? And then... is that it? Get rid of the unreachable code, the unreachable patterns. It should be reachable. Need to move this declaration up above here. It's a shame I lost my work tonight. Hey there, Prof Elements. We're continuing the stream in the face of losing a hard drive. You know what? I'm just glad that I have my operating system on one drive, my programs on a second drive, and my work, like workspace and like losable files, because I have them backed up on the drive that actually failed. So it wasn't a total catastrophe. Oh, what did we do? What do we do for an error here? Oh, that's just their example. Okay, we can get rid of this. We're getting rid of that too. Yeah, everything that I ever recorded on that drive that I haven't backed up, which I have most of my streams backed up. I lost all my checked out files. I lost all the old game stuff that I did that wasn't backed up. All that stuff, all the critical stuff should be backed up, or it's checked in Git. Always check your code into Git. And not on the same computer, but use like GitHub or Bitbucket. And then it won't be a total catastrophe. It's just an annoyance that I had to go clone this back, and I have to redo the work that I didn't manage to commit and push. And always have backups, yeah. So for me, for years now, just GitHub or Bitbucket have been my code backup. So it also is a convenient way to move between computers. So if you go on a trip, you bring your laptop with you, you just clone to your laptop, right? The other stuff I would back up, I usually just keep backup copies on other hard drives, and I'll keep one on like whatever cloud I'm using at the time. These days I'm using OneDrive, so I keep like a backup on OneDrive. All right, this comes from that. So I just need the USB bus. That was from the other crate, right? Let's put in here also. This was, I had increased this delay to 500, right? What was weird is when the hard drive failed, my bot was telling me it couldn't write to the disk, but I could still create a file on that drive and read it back. I'm just fascinated about how like it only partially failed at first, and then it was a total failure, I think because OBS crashed, and then you guys stopped seeing me. Okay, so serial write, and the data is hello world, right? With exclamation mark, and then N. All right. I just need a bus. So that was from the other crate. Lib.rs, US, no. This was RP2040 HAL, right? Right, this had, blah, 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 USB from here, right? Yeah. There we go. That's what I want. And should I just take the time to comment? I'll comment if this works again, and I'll feel better about that crash not completely destroying me tonight. How about that? All right. And this needs to like ignore the error, so drop the error. Oh, right, and then we have to actually borrow the USB, the serial here, right? So I had to say serial is a mutable reference to a serial port made from our USB bus, right? And then here and here, we have to borrow it. Just gets to borrow it so that we can continue to use it there, and then this can go because it already is a mutable reference. Cool. I lost my handy build.bat. Let's make that again. Build.bat. That was cargo. I'm just so lazy I made a batch file just to type cargo build release. Can you believe it? All right. Build. So, why is it compiling everything again? I don't think my caches for Rust were on that D drive. It's interesting. Oh, I missed some chat. What makes me use librs over crates.io? I just like the look of it. There's no any particular reason. Can you set up a launch JSON with VS Code to run that command? I thought you could only have like one command, and I have two. I have build and flash, right? And I kind of want to see if this one succeeds before I do this one, because this one requires that I have... Actually, that might not work because it might not be the F drive. Let's see what happens, actually. I have to actually plug it in. And then, do that. I never really arranged my windows right. Let me do that now. Okay, so let's see if if it's on the F drive, we'll see the token files. We do. Okay. Yeah, can you do a launch configuration with two commands, like do part 1 and then do part 2 if part 1 succeeded, or I could type two different launches? I don't know. Okay, now there should be a serial port. That did get saved because it's not on the D drive. And there we go. So this must have been buffered, right? And then it filled up the buffer, and then when I connected the COM port, it dumped the buffer, and then all the new ones started going through, right? Hey, let's commit it to Git before I lose it again. Sound good? Beep, beep. All right, so let me push my luck here and take some time to write some comments. So this one, I think I had written something like allocate? No. Initialize the USB bus driver or bus implementation provided by the HAL. I'm pushing it. That beep beep was my beep beep. Like I was saying before, I'm using custom Windows sounds so that you don't get confused about it maybe being your computer making those beeps. So USB device connect and disconnect, and the beep thing are my custom sounds so that you don't get confused. Okay, so this one is set up or instantiate serial port USB class driver on our USB bus, on our bus. All right. And then this one is construct the overall USB stack. Yeah. Sound a whole lot like Tim. Maybe Tim and I sound differently when we make beep beep sounds. Okay, one more test to make sure I didn't break anything. And go open COM port 6. There's my hello world. It's working.
Beep beep.
All right. Okay. Before another hard drive crash happens, I do this. Commit. And we're going to say get serial port working over USB. Push it. Okay, now we can survive yet more hard drive crashes. Looks like you can add multiple tests to test.json, then use Control-Shift-B to select and run. Oh, that's right. I could have them be shortcutted in VS Code directly. But isn't that a little too extreme in the laziness department? That's actually a good idea. Should look into that. How do I copy your whole quote? I can do that. And this is still working, so it must not be on my D drive. So that's going to be on my reading list. It's actually more than a reading list. So this is more like to look into. Right? Thank you, dude, man. Most Rust code you've seen looks terrible, but mine looks clean. I'm copying a lot of it from other people's examples. Also, I use Rust FMT with a bunch of different configuration options to make it look pretty. So I could totally mess this code up like this, right? I can't do that much. You don't want to put stuff onto a command line, but every time I hit save, it makes it pretty again. So if you've seen terrible looking Rust code, two possibilities. One, they like it to look that way. Possibility two, they're just not running Rust FMT. Oh, I missed a question. Index.htm, what year are we in? I don't know. 1999. I think they did that. You're talking about when I had this in bootloader mode, right? When I do that. And I do dir on the mess. So when this is in bootloader mode, it's using the UF2 bootloader stuff that Microsoft came up with. And I guess this index.htm, if we were to cat that, let's do that. Do I need to do a backslash? Yeah. It's just a really, really short thing giving you a link to learn more about the device that this microcontroller, right? And I think the info file is something similar. It just says, hey, this mass storage device is actually a UF2 bootloader, and this is what it is. It's a Raspberry Pi RP2, and there's the board ID. So I guess it's just like a universal README convention of the 21st century. Okay, really, that's all I wanted to accomplish today. I didn't think it would be this quick. Even though I had a hard drive crash, I'm still only like an hour in. I don't want to disrupt the stream to try to recover my hard drive, but I really do want to get to that. I guess I can think out loud of what I would do now that I have USB. I guess what I really want to do is connect it to the log system. So I want to say something like info. Something like, I don't know what to print. Loop something. I. And then say like I plus equal 1. Like say let mute I equal 1. And I want to use the log crate. But I want to have a logger that basically goes to our serial port is what I want. Speaking of hard drive failure, you think your external backup drive has died? I know, Sarian. What's going on? Tonight's like the hard drive disaster night. Looks like the Rust integration already has build options with Control-Shift-B. I mean, you could always just make your own shortcuts, right? Because I can make a keyboard shortcut to run a custom command, right? Okay. This is essentially what I want. But I need to get the log crate. Should I just guess what the log crate version is at? Why not? I like log. Let's say it's at 1.0. Is it? No, it's at 0.4. Come on, log people, get with the program. I love this plugin. I forget which one it is, but I have this plugin that tells me the versions of the crates and whether I have like a good version or not. Okay, so info comes from log. So that won't go anywhere right now until I make a logger. So the last time I did this, not too long ago, if I remember right, I just looked up simple logger and I just did what they did. Just looked straight into their code and see what they did. So you make a struct and you have to implement log for it, right? And then you get this record, and then you turn the record into a string and all that. Well, I wonder if this is going to need the alloc crate to do these two strings. Does this depend on the alloc crate? Can't tell. It doesn't look like it. I don't know why I looked there. I could just look at their cargo toml, right? Actually, what I wanted is a cargo toml of log. No, they're not. Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, I was thinking there's a quicker way, but that would require that I clone another repo that I made with another. I made another logger repo a little while ago. Do I just cheat and copy from that? I kind of want to. Yeah, let me do that. So go back to the clone command. Actually, I need to go to the root to one directory up before I do this. And do I not have it here? Okay, just git clone. Again, git at bitbucket.org. My private repo's there.
Beep beep.
Beep beep. Z. This is what I had. Which I'm going to turn into a YouTube series. This is where I used bare metal Rust in the Raspberry Pi Zero. So I'm just going to steal from there. See, it was on the D drive, but not anymore. Peppa hands, D drive is dead. I have to click that and hit then select folder. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try again. No, it did work. I just needed to wait. Okay, here I had a logger. I'm just going to steal it. There we go. Stolen. Now let me make a new logger.rs and paste that stuff. Okay, I just need to change this around. So my logger implementation, it needed the UART and timer objects, and then I had something to convert from seconds to microseconds. I probably don't need all that. Okay, I did use box and format though. But it's only because I did this crap. I could just make it easier by stealing, or let's say borrowing, the serial port. Yeah, I have to share the serial port with the polling device, unfortunately. How am I going to do this? Do I do this with a ref cell, maybe? I know, it's not stealing if I steal it from myself, right? Not cheating if I wrote the code. Exactly. Well, let me change this around. We're going to want... just to keep it simple and do a serial write. Drop the errors. Serial, well, self.serial. I'll have to change this to do the interior mutability in a moment. This should just write the record args, right? Oh, it's args. What is args? Can I just write it directly? I forget what type that is. And it's not helping me because I did not declare it as a module. Module logger. Okay. I don't have a serial port yet. Let's add one. So I don't need this stuff. Serial. So let's just pretend it owns one. USB bus. So it'll be passed in, right? Just do this. Serial. Ooh, okay. So this is gonna be a problem. We don't have the alloc crate because we don't have an allocator. Was there a way to do this without without an allocator? How come it says there's no set logger and crate log? Oh, I think I remember why. It had to do with the dependencies on log. Nope, that's not it. Obviously not. What did I... Where does set logger come from? That's interesting. So why is it giving me a... Is it giving me a problem just because it doesn't know the types? It just says it can't find it. Interesting. What? Lifetime? What needs a lifetime? Oh, serial port has a lifetime. Lifetime of what? Interesting. I don't know what lifetime it wants. Does it support a write macro? If it did, then that would be good. We can look at that. I think that it is the trait that it implements, right? So if I go to structs and I go... Oh, where is it? Serial port. It'll probably say it implements some trait. Oh, it's read and write. So if it implements the write trait, I could use the write macro, right? Let me try back in main here. So, for example, can I just turn that into a write to the serial port? Okay, then that's what we'll do. Let me turn off logger. Let me make sure this works first. No method named write format found for the serial port. I forget where does the write macro come from? Ooh. We can't use write. It's from the standard crate, and we're a no standard project, right? I hate missing my bookmarks. I need Rust docs, please. Actually, it was here somewhere, right? The ref no, it's not the reference. Is this it? This is it. Okay, can I get to write from here? Yeah, we can't use standard write, but is there one in core? There is. Okay, there's a core format write. All right. So why does this come up as saying standard? Oh, see that in the documentation, but it really is from core. Okay, so really I should see where does write FMT come from? Okay. Where are we? Okay, so it's a different write trait, not... So the format write trait is what we want, but this doesn't implement that trait, right? This implements the serial write. Okay, it's different. So we can't use the write macro because it's not the same trait. Bummer. Okay, we can't use the write macro because it's a different trait. I tried. Info. Let's put the RN in there for now. You know, this might end up... I might end up getting stuck here because for one thing, set logger can't find it for some reason. And I don't remember why. And the other thing is that unless there's an alternative that doesn't require me to leak a box, this is going to be a problem because we don't have box. Dyne embedded house serial write should have core format write implemented, so that it should have worked. I got bigger problems, unfortunately. I'm thinking, should I use core format there? Okay, we're gonna drop all this stuff for now. Let's just comment this out, actually. I'm gonna want that eventually. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Ah, bad today. That returns a format arguments. What the heck is that? This isn't gonna work as a string directly, is it? Does it have a toString? It has a display. So it'll work with the formatter. I have a feeling that I'm really going to get stuck until I make an allocator. I want an allocator eventually. And I have an allocator in mind that's pretty easy, but that's going to take a lot more work than I'm prepared to do tonight. Maybe I like put this off to the side and work on it later. Or I can just work on it now and not finish it tonight. I would like to have a heap. So maybe that's the first thing I do. If I get a heap, then I can do this stuff and I can do the formatting. Yeah. What's this problem? Why does it think it needs a... Oh, it's the serial port that needed a lifetime, right? Why does this need a lifetime? Where does this lifetime actually come into play? In its new function, maybe? I don't know. I don't really get this. So, is it this? It's hard for me to see where this lifetime is used. I'm guessing it has something to do with this allocator. But it's just using it. It's not, unless it continues to borrow from self somewhere. But this isn't. I'm getting too deep in that rabbit hole. What if I just do what they did and just make it implicit? And then I have to have that here, right? No, I have to name it. Kind of weak in the lifetime area. Have to. This I can use. Can't I use an anonymous one there? Well, it really is needed over here. Is that because I need it in front here? I think so. Okay. Fix that problem. Now I just need to get the allocator in there, right? For a couple of these reasons. Here I can use an honest one because it's not needed, right? Yeah, okay. So I need to bring in an allocator so I can do some of this stuff, right? Lifetime spreading is something you don't enjoy. Yeah, I don't enjoy it either. Trying to blink some lights. The light is blinking. Well, hold on. There, light is blinking. Today I'm trying to get the USB working. And I did get the USB working, and so I'm on the extra credit right now, which is I want to actually do more like, what's the word? More natural logging, so with a logger that actually writes to the serial port. So when I do debugging, I can just attach the USB and open up the terminal and get all of these log messages out. And then the next step after that would be to make it a composite USB device, and so I have both a serial port and an HID device, and then that's ultimately the real function of this controller, is to look like a keyboard. And so that when I wire it up with real keys and I press those keys, it works like a keyboard. I'm not going to get that composite stuff tonight, but I would like to get this logging done. Okay, so I should just bite the bullet and bring in an allocator. The one I'm used to using is the one I used in the other project I was doing was slab allocator. Slab allocator RS. I don't have a whole lot of RAM, but I can dedicate quite a lot of it, right? Because I'm not using data for anything else. So yeah, we just need to turn on alloc. Actually, I've done this in that raw that bare metal project here. I did it here, right? In the main. I had to turn on this feature. We'll get that far, but I have to do this extern create alloc to say, hey, we're using an allocator here. Will there be a VOD you can watch or upload to YouTube? Yeah, all my VODs I'm going to upload to YouTube. I don't know if I'll have enough time to make like extracts that are shorter, but for this bare metal project that I have over here, that I'm kind of pulling stuff from, where I got it working on a Raspberry Pi Zero, I do intend to make a YouTube series for that, because I thought that was pretty cool. But it had nothing to do with building a keyboard. It was mostly just tinkering. Don't you have 250 kilobytes? I know, that's loads. That's like 4 times as much RAM as I had when I first started programming. 4 times! Alright, so I need to do... Let's just restore that to what it was from my bare metal project. I don't have a timer, but I can get the rest of it, right? So what if I just steal that back? This part goes... Let me think about this. It's actually all of that. Yeah. Format comes from alloc. This is why we need the alloc crate. They pull the wrong one. Yeah, okay, this should be alloc format, not FMT format. Okay, we don't have a time, so we'll just drop that for now. But I at least want to have the nice level, target, and all that stuff. We'll put in a timer later. 1, 2, 3. What's wrong here? Oh, it wants it as bytes. So that dot as bytes. There we go. Okay. Box comes from alloc also. Here's the part I don't understand. Why is it that it can't find... Do I have the wrong version of log, maybe? 0.4. What do I have in the other project? 0.4. What's the difference? Why don't I have set logger? I don't get it. Yeah, the bot's dead. It's completely destroyed, Endurn. I might have a backup copy of it, but if I don't, then I'll have to clone the bot and rebuild it and start from... Well, actually, I might have a backup of the database. I definitely lost some data, unless that I can get that hard drive back online. I lost a bunch of data about what the bot's been doing, and the most recent commands are all lost, which is a bummer. Yeah, I had a D drive fail. How are you doing, Endurin? I hope that you don't have a hard drive failure like I did tonight. It's not the most fun thing. I'm just amazed I could continue the stream. I had to redo a bunch of work, but only the stuff I did tonight. Everything else is checked into Git, so I just recloned it. Okay, this... I don't get this one. Is this a symptom of a different bug somewhere else? Let me look and see if I missed something when my understanding of the lib crate. Lib, or log, not lib. Log. Ah, can't type. Set log. Here, there it is. Why does it not exist? Let's make it a little smaller. It's currently unavailable on Thumb v6 targets. What? Okay, even on those targets, set logger racy will be okay. I guess that's what we got to use. On thread unsafe. Well, we don't have threads, so that's fine, right? So set logger racy. So that's interesting. It's not available in our architecture. Unsafe. This is what I say about unsafe. Make it safe. How do we use set logger racy? How is it different? Static dyn log. Static dyn log. What's the problem here? Oh, is it because I added lifetime in there? Okay, so it's because of this A, right? So do I say something like init where A is static? And then that'll make it work? Check out my Rust foo. Yes, we have an init, but only if A outlives static. Okay, so now I just need to make one of these things, right? And I already did that in my other project, so I'm going to copy. I did it right up here somewhere, around here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, I had a special init function. No, that wasn't it. It's this thing. That's what I need. That really wasn't much, but that's okay. So I need this after the serial port because it's gonna need it. Set up logging to write to the serial port. Okay, and then this needed that serial. So here's where I gotta fix this problem, right? So it can't own that. It has to borrow it or share it. Right? I'm gonna have errors, right? Where are my errors? Shouldn't I run into errors because of that? How is it that it can... Wait a minute, how does this work? I don't believe it. That shouldn't build. I don't believe that that builds. Yeah, it doesn't build because of these other problems. Yeah, there's problems here, but Rust Analyzer isn't seeing them because of this. So yeah, I need to actually pull in the allocator, and I need to have an alloc error handler, which means... Oh, I can have a default? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Let's have a default. Am I going to be able to get away with this without using the nightly build? That's the question. Nope. We're going nightly. Nightly. Ooh. Okay, that's a cascade of errors. Why? Why? Feature min... No, that should work. Cannot find crate for core. Oh, we don't have that tool, that target installed. Actually, it gives it to me right here, right? I just need to say, don't do it on the nightly. So, getting the core library, now it should work-ish. It should work until it'll still give me the error that I don't have the allocator set, but we'll get that in a second. Actually, while that's building, let me go grab it. That was here. And we need to initialize it. I'll just put it here for now. Unnecessary. Okay. Use static in place. Logger line 30. Wait a minute. You can use static lifetime directly in place of A? How do I do that? Well, let's get to that warning later. Really, the problem is I don't have a global allocator. So now I have one. Oh, I never put it into here that I'm using the slab allocator, right? So that's this guy. And we gotta give it some memory. So the way I did it here with bare metal is I just gave it raw pointers. After setting up the MMU somewhere here, here it is. Is init itself unsafe or just the pointers I was using? No, the whole thing is unsafe. Okay, so this is what I did. I can do that. Nothing. The RAM isn't being used for anything else, so I could use all of RAM, right? So I can just pick whatever RAM address I want. Drive isn't dead. The power port is just finicky. How many hertz is that CPU running? I think it's 125 megahertz. I forget what the link was. We can follow that. RP 2040. Oh, my commands don't work. Shoot. I think it's 125 megahertz. It's pretty decent for a microcontroller. It was? Okay, cool. I got it right. Where to do this? It doesn't really matter. I could do it at the very beginning, right? So set up our heap. global allocator, our allocator. So, I don't know where we want our heap to be. Let's just pick some addresses. Here's the ones I used on the Raspberry Pi Zero. So we don't have a whole lot of RAM, right? If we have 256K, what is that? Starting at, I mean, I could just do this. Give it 256K. No, I mean 64K. Between these two memory areas. I'm just, actually, we have a memory.x. I should just look at that. Oh, okay. We have to go there. Where do you suppose it puts? It probably puts a stack at the bottom of that, right? So I should use this top of it. Okay. So just the first 64K. We don't need a whole lot of RAM. Just that much? Too bad USB keyboards are polling, unlike other PS2. You think they just... Well, I think we can use an interrupt with this chip. A timer interrupt. Or, actually, it might have a dedicated USB interrupt. It's the host that has to poll, ultimately. This chip might be smart enough that it can sense the data lines toggling and have that... Well, the peripheral is going to handle it, be the first to handle it when it does toggle, and when it detects activity, a setup packet, it could just interrupt. It could send the ARM an interrupt, and that could wake us up to do the poll. So that's what I'm hoping to get to ultimately. I hate polling, right? The only thing that should be polling here is the host. Our keyboard shouldn't need to poll. It should just respond to the host polling us. Okay. I have no idea if this will work, but it's worth a try. I don't have Atomic's U size? Ooh, that's a problem. We don't have Atomics on the Thumb V6? Oh, I can't use this heap then, can I? Well, shoot. That works on the Raspberry Pi Zero because we do have Atomic Bool. Or a compare exchange weak. So we don't have that on ARM 6 or ARM Thumb V6. Well, I'm not sure what to do then. And I'll have to fish for a different allocator. Or someone else has run into this problem, right? So let's say RP 2040 allocator, or Rust allocator. What have other people done? Global allocator. I'm not getting any good hits here. How about Pico? No, it's the same. Here's something similar. I should zoom in on this. Whoa. Go away, Reddit. Okay. So that didn't lead me anywhere useful. Basic allocator? A very simple allocator written in pure Rust. Why does it have so many dependencies? Okay, we can't depend on spin. That's the problem we're having now. Spin doesn't work for us.
Beep,
So
beep.
That's not exactly a simple allocator. Oh, that's interesting. The gateway's down for librs. That happens sometimes. So yeah, this depends on spin, which is bad. I don't know. What if I look for just allocators? Just want a simple single-threaded allocator. How about slot map? Ooh, maybe? No, that's not for a global allocator. We can. I know we can't use this one. This is like the one used based off of libc. I don't know. What's slab? Oh, what can I use this? Or a uniform data type. What's the difference between slab allocator and slab allocator RS? Nothing, I guess. So many things to look at. I don't know which one. It's boggling the mind how many choices I have here, and all of them so far I don't like any of them. Like, I just need something super simple. Do I just write my own at this point? What's this one? Efficient, alternative, platform agnostic. Those are all good words. How does it work, though? Without locks. What are these things that it's depending on? Syscall? No, that's not going to work. No, we don't have a system. Okay, that's not gonna work for us. What I really need is to search for one that is also no standard. Okay, maybe this one. Or one of the... No. Buddy system allocator? Linked list allocator. It's initialized the same way. Spinning top. Eh. But that's optional, right? I mean, it's worth a try. It's just drop-in replacement, right? 0.9. Linked list allocator. Oh, 0.9. Okay. So they even called it locked heap. Okay. Am I in business then? No. It's still pulling in atomic stuff from spin? What? Oh, no, here it is. It's spinning top also depends on that. Can I turn that off? Because it said it was optional, right? Yeah, so they say how to turn it off. Okay, I have to like turn off the default feature, right? I forget how to do that. It's like you have to put this into a object where you say version equals, but then I forget the rest of the syntax. Search engine to the rescue. Okay, so Rust cargo turn off default features. Is it just list an empty set feature list? Default features, okay, what do they say? You have to disable all default features and opt back in, so how do you do that? Probably from this other one down here? This one?
Beep beep.
Beep beep. Default features equals false. Okay, that literally is what I want to put here, right? Okay. Now it won't build because this... No, it just needed to reload. No, there's a problem. What's the problem? Unresolved import. Oh, probably because there's another opt-in feature. Okay, what is it? What, I guess I can just look it up. Locked heap. What features are required? Does it actually tell me somewhere here? Is it the fact that it's locked heap and then I just need to pick heap and not locked heap? Maybe that's the thing. So just do heap instead of locked heap? I know, I'm in uncharted territory here. Global alloc is not implemented for heap? Come on. Okay, can I look at the source for this? Okay, so it's you have to use spin to have a locked heap. Alright. Locked heap does implement global alloc and heap doesn't, I'm guessing. Okay, so this is a dead end then. Unless spin can be built without. Okay. It all comes back to this spin thing, right? That it doesn't build for thumb v6 yet? Do they say that here? What's wrong with the slab allocator? It depends on spin, and spin depends on atomic operations we don't have yet. Yeah, you could implement a wrapper around that heap. It implements global alloc. This seems like a lot of duct tape to get this working. I was hoping spin would have some way to work without the atomic primitives that it does by default, but I don't see it. Because, you know, here are the errors we're getting, right? That is depending, that spin or spinning top, whatever, is depending on these atomic operations we don't have. Other people must have run into this problem, right? I just need to get the right search terms. So what would they be? RP, RS, atomics, spin. That's interesting. There's a spin lock type within the HAL. Whoa.
Beep beep.
Beep beep. Hardware-based spin lock. Okay, that's peripheral based. How do I just make atomics work? It should be pretty simple. But this is a bigger issue, right? If I'm going to run into other things that depend on atomics working and they just don't for this architecture, that's going to be a problem, right? So Rust, RP2040, atomic. What I should do is just search for that error message. No method compare exchange found. Here we go. That doesn't have the error message at all in it. How did that match? Do I need to put a plus on that? Oops, I messed that up. Weird. What if I just go RP 2040 and then no method? I need a space there, please. Okay. Really? No search results. I hate this. Is it Google? Do I need Google? DuckDuckGo is not doing it for me today. Okay, not going to use Google, but I'm going to try Bing. No search results. Well, this is sad. No search results.
Beep beep.
This is just not my night. If I remove RP 2040. Okay. Well, this is similar. It doesn't build for ARM v4T either. Don't have atomic support. Wait, what? What's the result? What's the solution? This is included. What is included? It's just flagged if it doesn't support it? I don't get it. Okay, that wasn't helpful at all. Right. So what did they do? Unstable feature. Config target has atomic feature and features RS nightly featuring crossbeam. I don't understand what they're saying. Typically bytes can do the same, but it may not be very helpful. As I think they're talking about a different type. Hey there, Buff Siegel. Is there a way to turn atomics into non-atomics? Sort of no-op in a sense. Yeah, that's what's kind of frustrating is I'm not using the other CPU core, so it doesn't even need to be atomic, right? So how, like, you would think that they would have a feature I could turn on or something in the core just to say, like, to short circuit those. Hmm. Portable atomic crate? Assume the target is single core. Braids atomic cast for targets where it's not available. What is this? How do I use it? It doesn't say. I mean, what do we get with this thing? Let's see if we have standard and use it. I'm like, nope. Portable atomic. 130 downloads. That's a lot of downloads. It's one place Zig has Rust beat. You can compile a single thread which turns mutexes and like into no-ops. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that there's no like quick way to just say, hey, it's only one thread here. Just no-op those out. I wanted to get this API reference. I mean, do I just pull this in? And then... How do I do an optional config? How do I do that? Like, I hate it when they say, just do that. I'm like, where do I do that? On the command line somewhere? I don't even know if this is the right thing to look at. Yeah, I'm not sure. Keep that tab open though. So theoretically, if this provides this optional config, then it would make everything else work, and then I could go back to using the allocator I wanted to, which I know works. Right? I could undo these changes. Can't see what it's doing. Go back to locked heap from slab allocator, right? Where's that? Okay, so we're back to not having the atomics, so presumably we just pull in portable atomic somehow with this configuration. I just need to find out how that's done. What if I could find someone else who's done it? Hmm. So what do I look up instead? Like Rust crate optional config? It's crate optional. That's not what I want. CFG. How do I use... Here we go. Someone's asked the question. How do I do it? You have to introduce existing features in your cargo toml. In your code... Oh, I have to put it on the command line, the features? Okay. So I don't really need that. I can just do this. Okay. Wait a minute. Why does it say features and not CFG? What if I just take this and put it on the build command line? Like that. And then I pull in that portable atomic version 0.3. Okay. Build. It's interesting. So it's not on the build command line. I can guess that it's features. None of the selected packages contains these features. Okay, I can try dash dash and then dash dash config. Not expected. Did the cam just fail for a second? Dropped a bunch of frames. I think it was just my network. Okay, I feel very ignorant. I don't know what they mean by optional config. How do you enable... Okay, what if I just ask that to DuckDuckGo? Rust, how to enable optional config? How to activate an optional dependency? That's dependency, not a config, though. That's Rust Analyzer. Okay, that didn't help. And before double hard drive fail? Yeah, no. I should just read the book. Config expressions can be used to conditionally include code to support the requested feature. Cargo sets features in the package using Rust. Okay. How do I use it from an app, though? Okay, what if I just don't add that? And I just build now. What do I get? I still get all those errors. I I don't know what to do. I wish they had an example that could show me how to do this. What does this mean? This is intentionally not an optional feature. If this is an optional feature, dependencies can implicitly enable the feature, resulting in the use of unsound code when the end user is without them being aware of it. Enabling this config for targets. Is it the target I have to enable it in? I'm lost. I don't know what to do. What is a config expression? Conditional compilation. Oh, here we go. Do I just add this in my build config here? Is this where I add it? Maybe this is what they meant here. Maybe? Grassmint straws. Unrecognized option. Do I need to do this? Nope. That didn't help. I really don't know how to use this public atomic crate. Like, is it supposed to provide something that's missing, or is it supposed to replace it somehow? GitHub. Maybe their GitHub says more. They have examples, tests. Oh, here we go. Is this what I need? A feature section in my cargo TOML? Good night, Nightshade dude. There's a config adder that. See, the problem is this example pulls it in from portable atomic, but how do I make spin pull it in from there? I don't know how to.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oops, sorry. I don't even know if I can do that. I hate dead ends, you know, where you just don't know what to do. Well, I think I reached that point where I'm frustrated, and so a good rule of thumb is when you get frustrated, you got to stop and then look at it fresh some other time. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I will go try to recover my hard drive long enough to copy files off of it. Locked heap is just a wrapper around a heap in a mutex. You won't be able to replace it now without modifying the spin crate. That's what I was afraid of. Yeah. Is that the root of it, that they're using mutex? But they implement global. So you're saying that maybe the right path is to use heap and make my own global alloc impl for that in like a wrapper, my own wrapper. So like abandon this thing. We still need that. So we would use our own type here, like our heap. Function new heap. Slow down, Raimu. And then impl, like, is it global alloc? Yeah, for our heap. That's how you do it, right? Okay, does that build now? What's needing spin? Is it just because I'm pulling in that? Maybe I need to turn off the feature? Too many tabs. No, don't do this, gateway. There we go. There we go. Don't break again. Okay. It depends directly on spin, though. This isn't a configurable thing yet, so go back to the linked list one. Okay, this one I can turn off use spin, right? So let's try that. Version equals, what version are we on? 0.9. Then it was like default features is none, right? Default.
Beep, 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 beep.
Blah, blah, blah. Too many beep beeps. This one, default features is false, right? I didn't like that. Hold on. How does... It's getting late. How do I do the syntax? I had this working a little bit ago, but now I forget how it works. Is it just features? Hey there, Endorn. Oh. It's because I need to use underscores for this one. There we go. Now I got the nice check mark. Okay, back here then. We don't. Oh, this is a. I know how to fix it. Actually, let's fix that now. I fixed this one in the other project. This took me a long time to search for too. If you have to have this override command in your build settings, in your VS Code settings. Basically saying run it, check on save should do cargo plus nightly clippy, and then I forget why we needed that. But that should make some of these things go away if I restart. Just build. We don't need heap, locked heap. We don't want that one. Let's comment that one out. Oh, it needs to be an unsafe info, huh? Okay, so we need an init. We need to tunnel the init through. What's wrong with this? It needs to return a self. Yeah, we need that init tunneled through. So can I just look up how their init works? Sure, why not? Heap init. I'll just copy this stuff. 'Cause I'm lazy. Self dot heap dot init heap bottom heap size. It is unsafe. Very unsafe. We do unsafe things here now all the time. Okay, what's the error now? Oh. Yeah, we can't do that. So how do we... Okay, okay, I know how to figure this out. So it's just empty. Empty is like a method of... a function of what? Trait. Is it a trait? Or is it just a function? It's a const function, that's the thing. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll do it in init. So I'll make this an optional. And this will be empty, const, none, no arguments. Is it const function, not function const? And then this one will have to do something like self dot heap equals sum heap empty. And this is oh, what is it, to ref, as ref? Or unwrap or something like that. Oh, it's not as ref. What is it? I'm tired. What is this? It's not. It's as ref unwrap, I guess. Or as mute, right? Because we need a mutable reference. There we go. Okay. still doesn't like my init. Can't borrow immutable static as mutable. How does this actually work normally? I guess we'll look at locked heap. How does their init actually work? They don't have an init? No, that's part of global alloc. Is it not? Okay, I'm lost then. How is this supposed to be used? You call lock and then init. Okay, then let me look at this one had init directly on this locked heap, right? Yeah. Okay, it's that it doesn't use mutable access. Okay, so it's not mute. So I need to make this a ref cell, right? Or a cell? Ref cell? I forget exactly how this is done. Interior mutability and all that, right? You can just call it within your empty function. You don't need an option. Because the heap's empty function is const. Okay. I see what you're saying. But I still need a ref cell, right? So I would still need to do this, right? New heap empty. I need a ref cell because I need interior mutability. I just don't need this anymore, you're saying, right? Okay. It's not sync. I don't need to share it between threads. Oh goodness. It doesn't like that this isn't sync. I understand its hesitancy. That's what mutex is doing. How do I just overcome this? Is it it's not ref cell then, it's like it's whatever ref cell is based on, right? Unsafe cell? I never use one of these directly. Can I even use it directly? Is it going to give me the same problem? Can't be shared between threads. How do I fool it into thinking that it's sync? Do I just implement, like, you can't implement sync though, right? Okay, go back to using ref cell. You can just implement sync, really? Okay. Let's do it. Implement sync for our heap. I don't even need a body, right? It's just a marker trait. Okay. Unsafe. All right, it's not as mute. It is, as, I can't remember. Borrow mute, that's right. And then I don't need an unwrap, right? Wait a minute. It says heap empty is non-const. I thought you said empty was const. Okay, there's a const empty and there's a non-const. Oh, I have to turn on the const mute refs. Okay. Can do that. Features equals that. It's getting too long. Can I break this up into multi-lines? Actually, no, there's a way to... This isn't the way to break it up into multiple lines, is it? There's another way to do it. It's to have it in its own section. I don't feel like doing that quite at the moment, so I'm not going to. I'll just keep it one big long line. Great, I'm having more errors. What am I doing? All right. Okay, we're getting past that and we're getting to these errors. Okay, this I knew I would run into eventually. Okay, so does that mean my allocator is working? Okay, I haven't done this. So this would be self, well, it's all of this, right? Okay, how do we use this heap? Allocate. Wait a minute, does that need some certain feature? No. Layout? What's the problem here? Associated function deallocate. No function allocate? I don't get it. What am I doing wrong here? There's no allocate. Is the whole thing gated by some feature? No. I called new, right? I called init. Wait, I'm confused. Am I looking at the right class? I'm looking at the wrong class. Duh. Okay. I'm just all muddled now. Okay, so it's called allocate first fit. Alright. And it doesn't like it, why not? Mismatch types. It wants a layout, it returns a result, non-null U8. Unwrap it? I guess. How do I turn a non-null U8 into a mutable pointer? Just as mute U8? That's probably unsafe, right? Wait a minute, what? Why did it say implement default members? Haven't used non-null U8 before. There's probably a function I can call on it, right? As pointer? There we go. This is painful. This is probably a much easier, right? Okay, they want me to put it into a non-null U8, so non-null from pointer, maybe? Not satisfied. Okay, how do I get one in there? Is it new? I don't know how to use this damn thing. New unchecked. There we go. Man, so... Alright, this is actually, so I can actually mark this as unsafe. Really, I should, right? Unsafe. Pass the unsafety up one level, and I can get rid of this unsafe block. Alright, good. Good, good, good. And this is telling me I never use it. I am missing something there. What do I do after I make it? I call it init. Forgot that part. Okay, what's wrong with my USB bus? It doesn't live long enough. It's dropped on line 202. What? Oh, because of logger. Shoot. God. It's because this init, leaks the box, right? Yeah. I guess I could leak the USB bus along with it. Okay. I mean, why not, right? How do we do that exactly? Well, I need to put this into a ref cell anyway. So a boxed ref cell? No, you just box it, right? I can't remember. Does box do interior mutability, or do you need to put a ref cell inside a box? I can't remember. Box new. That. Now the type should... Oh. The type should be boxed allocator. Okay, so then I should be able to call something on this, right? Like as mute. No, I think I do need to do a ref cell new on this. So then I would say borrow mute. No? Rust is fun, isn't it? Consider borrowing that. Okay. Hey, that worked. Okay, so then I do the same thing everywhere else, right? Only this can just borrow it. No. Wait, why is it? It still thinks it's dropped. Do I need to do a box leak? What do you get with a box leak? You get like a pointer or something? Oh, you just get that back out, so I don't need... How would I use that again? Okay, it does say that. Is it still going to tell me it's not living long enough? Temporary dropped. It's freed at the end of the statement. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's a problem. Oh, wait. It doesn't need mutable access. Wait a minute, none of this needed mutable access, so I don't even need to put it into a ref cell, do I? So this is just a reference. What needed a mutable reference then? That needed the mutable reference. Moved there. Oh, that needed it too. Okay, so, Rustel's guard doesn't live long enough. Yeah, when I get to a multi-execution environment, I'll have to do something better than this, right? Force it into a shared reference. It already is a reference. It's just mutable right now. Are you saying, well, it needs to be mutable? The problem is that this needs a... Oh, no, I was going to change this. That's the problem. This shouldn't own it. This should just borrow it, right? Well, hold on. Where I use it, it needs a mutable reference to it. Right, so I think I know what I'm going to do. So this is going to take a ref cell? Can it own a ref cell? This is why I need to do more Rust and not get so rusty at my Rust. Ref cell is not copy or clone, right? I don't remember. Yeah. I'm totally going down the wrong path, aren't I, here? No, that works? No, that doesn't work. Can we just say static? Yeah, why are we beating around the bush? It's static lifetime, right? We're leaking this thing because we need to hold it forever. So I don't need that. Or that. Or that. Or that. Yes, the ref cell can't be shared. Shoot. So... it's RC, isn't it? Shared ownership and all that. I can't use arc. Why does it actually have a problem with this? It's required because it appears within the type where? There. It has to be sync and send. So maybe it's just a bad idea to use the logger. Yeah, you need arc which uses atomics. It's not sync. Yeah. Fundamentally, I'm going to run into this, right? That it needs to be sync and send. Wow, this has been quite a deep rabbit hole, hasn't it? We're down to just that is the problem, right? The only problem now. That's the only problem. Is the logger. So let me just eliminate the logger for a second. Can I at least get my allocator to work? Can I at least test that the allocator works? So don't make a logger. In fact, don't even make a logger module. And don't use it because it doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Can I at least build now? Yes, I can build. Okay. Let me just run it. Flash. Oh, it's blinking. So that's working. I could try writing to the serial port directly now, right? Whoops. Because we have the alloc now. I can't use that Y. No method name write format for serial port. Okay, well, I can work around this, right? We can say serial port dot write. Just do what I originally had. Not originally, what I had a little bit earlier, right? Format that and then do as bytes. Now we have to put in the carriage return line feed if we want that to come out the serial port. Format we can import now. Now that we have alloc format, actually it's just alloc format, not alloc format, right? Here. And then remove that. Yeah, and then we're going to drop the result. Okay. Build that. Flash. Oh, Flash won't work until it's in bootloader mode. Okay, so open the COM port. No COM port. Does that mean the USB is not working? Possible. The old device manager. Yeah, I don't think it's showing up right now. The USB is not working now. I wonder... It should be polling it. It didn't get destroyed, did it, by the dance that I did? I'm wondering if that dance that I did, that should just put it on the heap. Maybe the heap is not working at all. I can take it off. I can get rid of this dance for now. Right, and go back to borrowing here. Yeah, let's try that. Ba-da. Ba-da. Okay, now I have a COM port. Alright, so there's something wrong with the way I was boxing and leaking that USB device. Where'd it go? It's gone? Oh, it crashed? Ba-da. Oh, it's crashing. Ba-da. It's like blinking and then crashing. Ba-da. Okay, there's something wrong with the heap then. This thing, right? I wonder if they want the heap end instead of the heap start. Ba-da. Ba-da. Okay, it's blinking. Now, open the COM port. Okay, that's what it was. So we're getting dynamic memory allocation, building these strings and printing them out. So I got a little bit further. I'd like to know why I had to change that to end instead of start. Maybe some of the RAM... Maybe I need to find out where the stack is on this thing. Where is it putting the stack? Because maybe the stack was colliding with the heap. That might be why it was also... I couldn't put the USB device on the heap either, probably. But hey, we're looping. We're printing out to the serial port. Expect the stack to be at the top. See, the terminology is ambiguous. What does top and bottom mean? Is the top the lower address or is the top the higher address? Upper address. Stacks usually start at the higher, like the numerically larger valued address, and then as you push, you're subtracting, right? So the heap usually goes at the front, which is why usually when you tell it the heap, you say where it starts and then how much. But this one was sort of weird, right? It wanted the bottom. I don't know what bottom means. Does bottom mean the highest address? In which case, yeah, it wants the end of it for some reason. And I'm not sure, why would you want the bottom of the heap, not the top? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I could have done it this way, actually. I could have just put it all on the stack and then do init from slice. Anyway, that was it's probably wants the end instead of the start. And I don't, yeah, really weird. I'd like to end on a good note. So I have some things to figure out, right? I need to figure out if I can use log at all. Seeing as how it needs access to this serial port. It needs to share it with the rest of the program, notably the polling of the USB device, and then whenever if we want to use it to write in other places. So when I get some rest and I think about it, I need to have a way to share it. And the wrinkle is that when you do this log init, it takes something of static lifetime. So I would have to make sure that that this serial port is static, that lives forever, lives like box and leak it or something, right? Linker script says stack is RAM plus length of RAM. Yeah, usually the stack goes at the end, but I think where I was getting confused is I'm not setting up the stack, I'm setting up the heap. And I had given it the start. Where I'm getting, yeah, right. I was giving it start here, right? I was doing this because that's what the slab allocator wants. But it looks like the linked list allocator wants the end, not the start for that first thing. I could probably print out addresses here just to confirm. I can just get the address of the string that I allocate and see what the address is. It should be within this range if I did it right. How would I lift the stack pointer? With inline assembly maybe? Yeah, I would just peek at the stack pointer and get it back out. So there's some things I can work on later. Get logging working by having some way to lift up to static scope my serial port so that the logger can use it, and then it needs to be shareable, so going through refcell at least, if not something else. And what was the other big thing that that anything depending on spin is broken right now? And I don't really know how other people have overcome that. Anything that needs atomics is going to be broken. But I need to fix that ultimately, because I want to use 2 cores. So I want there to be mutexes. So I at least need an alternative implementation that works. Okay, these are tall. This is a tall order. I got to end it here and try to figure out what happened to my hard drive. So I'll be back in a couple days, all right? Thanks for watching. Let's see if there's someone else to raid. What's Quantum Apprentice doing? Parsing a config file too. And I'm watching an ad. Okay, I'll raid Quantum Apprentice. How about that? Let's type this in. Yeah, thanks, Ismat. You have a good evening, rest of your day as well. Hopefully by the time we get to Friday, I'll have recovered my hard drive or gotten a new one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry about the stream getting scuffed by the hard drive failing and then my stumbling into problems with Rust. But hope to see you next time. Bye!